Hi guys, today we're going to talk about the secrets that will help you learn English fast. I'm going to give you some strategies to help you learn English better. Listen to yourself. That's why recording in audio is so useful. That's why filming yourself talking in English is so important. When you record an audio or when you film yourself, you can then watch yourself, you can then listen to yourself to hear yourself talking, and then you can see where you can improve. Record yourself reading simple text. You can find it online, text for English learners, or you can write it down, a simple text, then start reading it out loud in front of a camera. Or you can write a short text about anything that you want to write, whatever, it doesn't matter. It can be about your day, about your life, whatever you want to write, and start reading it. And this helps you in a lot of different ways. You start to get used to the sounds of English coming out of your mouth. And over time, it won't feel unnatural. It won't feel uncomfortable anymore because you are already used to it. You are already used to training your mouth muscles to the new sound of the language. And then listen to it and then watch it. Is that similar? How was your pronunciation? Did you like your pronunciation? You pronounce the words well. Where you have to improve, where you've improved, where you feel proud, like I improved in this way. I wasn't able to pronounce this word. Now I'm able. Where you see that you've improved and where you see that you can improve. And then you can save your videos, to keep track of your progress and to come back to it and to listen to it. When you listen to yourself talking, it helps you in a lot of different ways. You get used to hearing your voice, and you get used to not just reading your voice but hearing your voice in another language, which can be a little uncomfortable at first, but then you get used to it. You get used to your voice, and when you see that you are pronouncing words well, when you see that your pronunciation is improving, it's just a great feeling. And I say it from experience. The first one that I recorded myself, when I watched my video, I was like cringe. It was my first time talking in English. It was my first time reading in English in front of a camera. And I was like, yeah, but over time, it got second nature. I got used to it and I loved recording myself, and I loved hearing my voice, which can feel a little bit uncomfortable. When you hear your voice and when you hear yourself talking and when you see that you are improving, it just boosts your confidence. It just gives you this confidence and it's just so rewarding. So when you listen to yourself, you can see where you can change, where you can work on. Get out of your comfort zone. Comfort zone feels good because we are in our comfort zone, and when we get out of our comfort zone, we feel like strange. We feel uncomfortable because we are getting out of our comfort zone. But getting out of your comfort zone is the way you grow, is the way you learn new things. And sometimes our English is not improving because we are not getting out of our comfort zone. We are doing the same thing over and over. And even if those things are not giving any results anymore, we just keep doing these things because we are used to it. We got comfortable. And what helps us when we were a beginner, what improves our English when we were a beginner, sometimes it doesn't help us when we are intermediate or advanced. So we have to get out of our comfort zone. It's the way we grow, it's the way we improve our English. So to speak fluently and confidently, we have to get out of our comfort zone. We have to challenge ourselves. We have to do new things. If we are not used to speaking, we have to start speaking. And especially when we are intermediate, sometimes we don't like to change things because we are like, I've learned in this way since I was a beginner and I learned to this level, so why I'm gonna change things up? Why I'm gonna change? Yeah, you don't have to change every single thing, but as I said, some things that helped you in the beginning will not help you now that you are intermediate, and you have to change things in order to get to an advanced level. If you are just used to reading textbooks, start reading articles. Start reading articles. If you are just used to watching videos made for learners, start watching videos made for native speakers. This helps a lot your English, and this helps you to get out of your comfort zone. Our comfort zone is good because we feel comfortable, but we don't grow in our comfort zone. We grow when we get out of our comfort zone. I was in my comfort zone because I was like, I want to start making videos in English, but I was in my comfort zone, and here I am. I got out of my comfort zone and I started to make videos for YouTube. First, I would just make videos for myself, but now I make videos for YouTube, and I got out of my comfort zone. And I know that I'm helping people, and I'm also helping myself to be more confident and to get out of my comfort zone and to grow. Explain what you've learned to yourself or to someone else. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. And that's so true. If you can explain something that you learned or that you see in a simple way, it just means that you didn't understand it well enough. You didn't understand it enough to be able to explain it to someone else, or just to be able to make a resume to yourself. When you explain something that you've learned to yourself or to someone else, but just the process of explaining it, it helps you to recall information, because you have to look for information. You have to look for new words to say it, because it's one thing to know something, it's another thing to explain something, and it's another different thing to explain it in a way that people can understand. So when you start doing this exercise of explaining something to someone or to yourself, you start to gain vocabulary, you start to recall information, and this helps your memory a lot. When you are explaining something to someone, you are kind of teaching them. And let's say you are explaining to someone about phrasal verbs. This will improve your communication skills, because you have to explain it in a way that that person understands. You have to make sure that that person will understand. You have to make sure that that person is understanding. So you will look for the right word to explain it. You will look for the right word to say it in a simple way. And this will improve your memory. This will improve your comprehension. And this helps you a lot to acquire the language. Let's say you are explaining to someone about to look forward to. You have to explain to someone what to look forward to means. And if that person is not understanding, you have to look for the right word to make sure that this person is understanding. And this helps you a lot to improve your English, to get your English to the next level. And I just wanted to say that learning English takes time, but it is so rewarding. If you want to learn English in a better way, if you want to be fluent in English, have a good level of English, you just have to work on it. You just have to show up and, yeah, learn a language, show up for the language in a way that you enjoy, because enjoying the process is one of the important things when you learn a new language. In this video, we talked a lot about explaining about phrasal verb. So if you want to learn a little bit about phrasal verb, just click right here, and I see you in the next video.